Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm David and thanks for tuning in. For those that have just come here for the first time, welcome. Please click subscribe, click the notifications bell and you will always receive a reminder when I put a video up. If you don't click the subscribe, I hope you fail your next driving test. Now guys, what we're going to do today is we're going to have a look at this particular test footage. This was recently done. And I can tell you in advance on this particular test, the student failed the test and there was a few serious faults on it, and there's a lot to learn from this particular test. So I'm not going to sit about too long and people passing the car. I'm not going to sit about too long. I'm going to go in, we're going to change microphones and I'm going to talk you through the route, and we'll have a little bit of time together. Hope you enjoy it and we'll see you coming up soon. And I was only kidding about the subscription and failing your driving test, you know me. Okay guys, let's go. Okay, so we're just heading off a little bit. Bryce Place this is. We're taking a left turn and we're just, you can see ahead actually, you can see the test centre up there on the left hand side, the white shop. So we'll go up to the roundabout. We've been asked to turn right at the little curry roundabout there. So when you actually see the roundabout, that's when you start your routine. So you've got to check your interior and right mirror, of course, and you're going to give a signal right and controlling your speed and connecting the correct gear before you arrive. So you can count the exits. That's one on the left there, two, and as you're passing two, well, checking your left mirror, signal, and then just straighten up to exit. So 20 mile an hour we are, guy. This whole is a this whole area is a 20 mile an hour zone. Speed bumps in front of us. It's always good to have a wee check in your mirror and maybe ease off the gas for the speed bumps. I know that the video looks like we're maybe doing faster than 20, but I can assure you we're not. The speed ahead used to be, for those people who know the area, you would probably be familiar with the 40 mile an hour signs down here. Well, the 40 mile an hour has all been replaced and it's now 30 miles per hour, all the way right down the A71 towards the city. So there's a 30 there, and only at that point, guys, remember to check your interior and right mirror and then accelerate then. Double bend, first to the right, a little adverse camber on this one. Again, for those of you who don't understand what adverse camber really means, it's when the road's sloping away in the opposite direction that you're steering. So particularly bad during adverse weather conditions, snow and ice on the road. So we're heading down to our first fault, and probably our first serious fault actually on this particular test. But I want you to pay attention just to how we're doing it. Now it's pretty difficult because of the camera, because as a student steering left to get onto the roundabout, we'll lose sight of what's happening on our right hand side. But I've tried my best to try and tune in a wee bit here to sort of help you. So as normal, this is, we should really be using the right hand lane on this one because the road markings are there to help us. I'll try and zoom in and let you have a look at that. So as you can see, the left lane only goes left towards the university, and the right hand lane for ahead. So I want you to look to the right though. You'll see an arrow there, the little car there. Now the student kind of slows down a little bit and there's a vehicle passing on our left, but that vehicle's not signalling on the right hand side there, and we should have really waited. But you'll see what happens here. The student does slow down a bit, And because I couldn't get the angle, I thought I would do a rear camera check to let you see what happened from the rear angle. So you can see we're coming in, and there's the silver car just too close to us. Yeah, too close to us there. And that was the first serious fault on this particular test. However, the student at that point, I don't know really if they knew, maybe thought they were a bit late, but anyway, at the end of the day, that's not important. The thing is we've got to keep going, keep our heads up, and we're again keeping right to go ahead here at the little park and ride roundabout. Bring your speed well down for this one, of course, and probably second gear is probably best. And we're going to go up, and we're following the road for Edinburgh still. So, as I say, guys, I can't always tell what the examiner's instructions are, but I know the route, and we've been asked to turn right here, so we're going right. It's a third exit for Edinburgh. There is a little car park entrance on the left hand side, so we don't actually count that. So that's it, just there on the left. As you can see, the bus is coming out there, so vehicles can't really go in there. Well, certainly cars can't. So we don't count that, and the GPS doesn't register it either, so we just use Edinburgh as a third exit. So we're off, and we've got a little spiral here on the Hermiston spiral. So we're just approaching the first exit now, so that's the exit on the left. We're doing our little spiraling out towards 2 and 3. So there's 2, you're going to do your left mirror at this point, signalling left. And exit. Now we should really, when we get round the corner, keep to the left side. Now the student here uses and avoids the bus lane. Should have really been in the bus lane. And it could be a minor fault for position normal driving. However, the student's here and being asked to go up to the roundabout and turn right for the city bypass south. So you can stay here, route 2, or you can go into the route to the right, which is route 3, and the student decides to just switch over into route 3. You'll probably notice that here, so hopefully checking the mirrors. So this is the point where I can't see that the student's checking the mirrors, but I'm assuming they'll check the mirrors correctly there. There wasn't anything mentioned there. And I'm assuming the signal's on also, so therefore again that wasn't highlighted at the end of the test. So we're moving off. We're keeping to the right hand side, so you've got to cross into this right hand lane, because the vehicles on the left hand side would use the lane in the middle there. And as we're coming around, the most important thing about being in this particular lane is when you go into the middle here, you're going to now change your mirrors and signal left. Now you've got a lane on the left that people are using, and that's live. You can't cross there unless you check your mirrors and signal first. And as you can see what happens here, the students moved over into this left-hand lane, and that was the next serious fault, because the examiner told the student that they didn't check their mirrors to cross over into that lane. So really should have stayed right. So we're now entering the bypass. You want to get good speed up, have your signal on, of course. Checking your door mirror and see if you can find a gap that you can merge in and blend in with the traffic. 70 mile an hour here, guys, in the bypass, and I can tell you that it was uneventful. There wasn't any faults really on the bypass. The student might have left their signal on for a little bit longer than normal. However, that was mentioned again at the end of the driving test. So we're going to head on, and the thing about being on the bypass, guys, is that you've got to make sure that you keep your distance for the vehicles in front. And the best way to do that is if you can sort of spot where the vehicle in front, look at the tyres of the vehicle that's in front of you, and when it passes over anything, you know, I like to use the shadow of the bridges or road signs on the left or the right, and when the vehicle in front passes something, you can count 0, 1, 2, and you can count on like that to see your distance. So always remember to count in seconds, and start with 0. If you're going to start with 1, you have to count 1, 2, 3. So here we are here. The vehicle on the left should adjust their speed and give way before emerging. And cars that are on the motorway or the carriageway in this case, you shouldn't need to slow down or change direction for any vehicles that's joining. So you need to remember that when you're actually joining. You shouldn't cause anyone to slow down or change direction. But it is common for people to come along the side of you, so you've just got to maintain your speed and let them change their speed and let them do what they're going to do. So in this case, we've got the vehicle in front. You might see the shadow of the bridge on the ground. And I would count 0, 1, 2.5. So there's, a good 2.5 seconds, nice and dry. If it had been raining, I'd have to use the 4-second rule. Okay, so I'm not, I don't have any music in between my voice, so I'll just keep blathering on and see if there's anything else we can talk about. What I will say to you is the next sign that you'll see, you'll notice that there is it should be just along here on the left hand side. I'll zoom into it and let you have a wee look at it, because some people have been told at the next junction to turn left for Collington, and when they've seen this sign, they've checked their mirrors and signalled at the sign, but it's just a bit early because this sign in particular is about half a mile away from the junction. So we'll have a wee look at that in a second. Okay, that's it coming up now. So I'll zoom into it and let you have a look, and right at the very bottom, as you can see, I'll just stick a little arrow on it, let you see what I'm talking about. You can see it's half a mile away from the junction. The overhead sign here is not visible. It's just because of the camera, and it usually gives you warnings of what's happening. Anyway, if you look ahead, you'll see on the left hand side your countdown markers for exiting, and you can see we're just passing the 3 marker. I usually use mirror signal maneuver, so when I pass the second marker, I do my signal, and then I'm thinking about the maneuver when I'm passing the 1 marker. So I'm looking for the exit lines, which is the little broken lines there, taking care not to go over the solid line on the left, because that's the hard shoulder and for emergency services, emergencies only. So I usually check my mirror off the gas, cancel the signal of course, and I would put my signal back on and just bring my speed right down, and then just slow right down up for the junction and get a nice low gear, because we're emerging to the left here. So on the left there you can see it's 30 miles an hour. A lot of people tend to miss that little sign, and we're taking a left here in towards the Travelodge car park, so we're going to do a little bay parking in here. So 20 mile an hour you can see on your left hand side, taking care to cancel your signal at this point because people might think you're going in the garage. A mirror and signal to get into the Travelodge here on the left hand side. Nice and slow, that's good. The speed's good. So the bay park was good and uneventful, and so therefore I'm going to speed it up a bit, and we can always discuss them on another video. Okay, so we're now heading out of the Travelodge. It's at this point, guys, you've got to try and remember the speed of the main route that you're on, and our last instruction was 20 mile an hour, if you can remember, coming in. So looking in both directions here, you're 20 mile an hour, and if you look ahead of you, this is one particular sign a lot of people tend to miss. And as you can see, 30 miles an hour on the right hand side there. Taking a left turn first exit. So remember, you're 30 miles an hour all the way down the hill. It's not always easy, to keep 30 mile an hour down here, because with the down gradient and you're getting your speed up, you tend to overdo it a bit. However, if you've missed the 30 mile an hour sign that we just passed, you might think this is still 20. And it looks like you're on the Joe Carriageway again, and so that's why people tend to get a bit fast coming down here. Little roundabout ahead, we're turning left first exit. So remember guys, interior left mirror. And a little blind area onto the right there, so you can't really see a lot there. So it's better to get your speed well down here at Collington. So this is Dreghorn Road, or Dreghorn Link, they call it. And we're now coming into Redford Road. And usually we're asked to pull up on the left down here. I actually don't know if the candidate in this case was asked to pull up on the left, but normally they do pull up on the left. If there are any vehicles down there on the left hand side, the examiner can ask you to go down towards the vehicles and pull up and stop just before the vehicle, round about maybe about a car length away, and then they'll be able to see you moving off at an angle. So in this case, we've not been asked to stop, so that's fine, just as long as you check your interior and right mirror to overtake the vehicles. Still 30 miles an hour, and up to now we could have had, well, that's two circumstances of where we would have probably failed the test. Back there, the first one at the Heriot-Watt University, and the second one coming off the Calder Junction onto the bypass. There wasn't an awful lot of driving minor faults on this. The examiner did actually praise the students' ability and the routines, and everything like mirrors and stuff was good. So we're still on Redford Road here, and asked to turn left into Redford Drive here. You've got your little 20 up high there on the left hand side, and you've got cars parked. Looks like the student's been asked to pull up on the left behind the cars. So she's stopped short. Actually, she's probably been told just to pull up near the car and told to disregard the driveways on this occasion. This can happen when the examiner wants to set you up. This is the situation I was talking about, where you could be asked to stop a car length away from the vehicle in front, and then once you've stopped, it's just a matter of moving off again at an angle. So really just the observations are exactly the same, just good control. And remember, we're still on the 20 mile an hour zone. So we're going to go up here, and at the crossroads we'll be turning right down what we call Thorburn Road. There's a little sign there for the crossroads. Checking your mirrors and signal early. Braking gently. Second gear, feet off the pedal, especially when there's nothing around you. I like to take second gear and then just come off everything and let second gear just take you around. You know, we have a routine that we call 2 and 10. Students asked to pull up on the left again here, so that's fine. And again, I'm pretty sure we'll be moving off again from here, following the road right down to the end of Thorburn Drive, onto Collington Road again. So having the cars on the left hand side here, again check interior mirror, check your right mirror, moving over to the centre line to pass parked vehicles, maintaining 20 mile an hour, slight down gradient, and informed to at the end of the road to turn left. That takes us on to the Collington Road. That's the B701 for anyone that might be following it via the Google Maps or whatever. Now you can see the signs here, so there doesn't appear to be any change in relation to speed. So up to the white lines, have a good look around. I suppose the student could have got a bit further up a bit, to be honest. maybe a little bit back, but as long as you can see, that's what's important. So if you just look ahead, you'll see 20 zone in front again, and a yellow box junction. Now, the student's slowing down for it there, quite rightly so. There is one vehicle the other side at the stop junction. There is enough room there for 2 vehicles, so if there's any more than 2 vehicles, please try and remember to stop before the yellow box junction. And again, you've got to keep reminding yourself about your speed. Coming down the village, steep hill, you've got to probably be second gear or third gear, covering the brake, maintaining your speed. Check your mirrors for crossings. Check for vehicles coming towards you here. And we're going to go through here and over the bridge. Yeah. Okay. So there's another area once we get over the viaduct here, and as we get round this left bend, the road changes from 20 mile an hour back to 30 mile an hour. Again, a lot of students have missed the sign here. I suppose the one on the left's a bit dirty, but there is one on the right there as well. And we need to get ourselves up to the speed. The double bend here, so we just need to get up to 30 as best we can. Remember, if it's safe to do the speed, do it. This is Gillespie Road, and it takes us up to Gillespie Crossroads. Yeah. And sometimes you can get asked to turn right into the Pentland areas, and they can do like the emergency stop in there. They can also do some parallel parking in there, and even pulling up on the right reverse. Yeah. So what we'll be doing is keeping to the right here, because the left lane only goes left. So we're keeping right. We've got to watch out for any vehicles in front of us that might be stopping in the middle of the junction, turning right also. So when something like that happens, you've got to keep looking in your left mirror to see if it's safe. And it's permitted to overtake on the left hand side of the vehicle. Because if the vehicle goes forward, this one particular, it's not signalling, so it won't be turning right, but it might be. We'll just wait and see what happens. But if this vehicle was to stop in the centre of the junction, then we would have to try and see if we can get past it on the inside. But we've got to make sure on the left hand side that there's nothing coming up there. And that'll take us on to the Joe Carrisway at Wester Hills Road. So still no change in speed. The road develops into Joe Carrisway. You can see the blue sign on the left there. And very important to keep to the left lane, still 30 miles per hour. Heading down towards Clovinston Junction. This is a junction that a few months ago I did a video on this particular one, so if you want you can have a look at that again. But as you can see, this first exit's for city bypass. The second exit is arrowed there, the little notch, that's the second exit, and of course the third exit's ahead. The next sign on the left hand side there confirms where each exit's taking you to, and the third exit, as you can see, is ahead here. So remember to keep left. So stopping for the truck, that's good. So we're keeping well left, and we're heading down to another situation where we've got our third serious fault coming up, and it's at the traffic lights down here. What happened was, as the student was asked to traffic lights junction to turn right into Harvester's business centre. And well, what you've got to do, guys, is you've got to check your interior and right mirror and give a signal. There's a sign on the left there for the business centre. You can see the road markings, solid line there on the right, so you've got to keep out of there. And you can see the lights here. It's very important that you pay attention to these lights. Now, as you can see, the red light on the right is the one you must obey to take you right. The lights on the left have got arrows on them, so it can only be for ahead. But unfortunately, as you can see here, the student's actually going to drive. The examiner had to ask the student to stop there. So you can see the car stopped quite suddenly there. That was the examiner intervening there and saying, please stop, we've still got a red light. So there you are. That was, again, a definite serious fault. And this is where the student actually knew that they had failed. And when the student turned right here, there was a wee problem with the signal. And I think the left signal was on here for some reason, but turning right here into Harvester's area, it's a 20 mile an hour zone. And yeah, so that's one of the other serious faults that happened on this particular route. Okay, so let's press on. The student was then asked again just to pull up on the left. But again, I'd like to highlight why we're doing this little bit. It's nothing going to happen in a minute or two, but I'd like to highlight the fact that at the end of the test, the examiner had explained about the serious faults, but did say that the drive was very good and that there wasn't a lot of minor faults. There wasn't a lot of driving faults. There was only 3 minor faults in the whole drive. There was 4 serious faults. One of the serious faults, on top of what we already know, was the fact that when turning right back there at that signal, when stopping on the red there, the student was actually signalling left to the health centre when asked to turn right, and that was a signalling fault there. So that's what caused it. But getting back to it, it was actually, in general, the drive was very well and good, and the examiner invited the student to come back and said, we hope to see you back again. It's just that a lot of the faults that you can get in minors when you're pulling out at junctions, etc., etc., the student today has just been unfortunate there's been somebody there. I mean, of course, there's no excuse for the red light. We understand that. And the student knew that themselves. But the other ones that we were dealing with, they're just forgetting to check your mirror. Well, unfortunately, somebody was there, and they could have been minor faults. Changing them into serious faults. So at the end of the road, we're being asked to turn right. If you look on the right hand side, there's a 30. We're joining the new road, so turning right, and we'll be back onto the roundabout when we get right here. Onto 30 mile an hour, up to the roundabout, turning left, first exit, and we're going to head up the carriageway to the traffic lights where we've came down from, to be honest, which is Gillespie Crossroads. So we're 30 mile an hour up the hill, and keeping well left until you get to the top of the hill. There is a little right turn at the top. The road kind of filters into a single lane and then goes back to a double lane again so see it's sort of filtering into a single lane here. You would check your mirrors, but you'd have to delay your signal a little bit because there is a little junction on the right, as you can see just there. Yep, that little junction. So you would check your mirrors and signal right now up to the crossroads here, waiting to turn right. And of course we've got the situation here where there's a giveaway junction and there's no filter to take you right here, so you've got to go into the junction and wait for a safe gap to turn right. And so we're coming down there, looking well ahead, giving a signal, of course, and we're following the road ahead, 30 miles an hour, Lanark Road. This is us now really on the final stages, heading back up to the test centre. And there's a few things we can do in the Lanark Road here. You usually get asked to maybe pull up on the left and move off again. That happens frequently. The examiners are really checking to make sure you're checking your blind spots, moving off safely. Remember, when you're approaching pedestrian crossings like this, check your mirror and make sure there's nobody standing there pressing buttons there. That's the puffin crossings there on the Lanark Road. A lot of parked cars and a little active area up here in the Juniper Green area. So asked to pull up on the left here, and soon be moving off again. A lot of times, of course, I can't tell again because I've not got the audio or I've not got the video of the internal part of the car, so I can't really tell when they're switching on or switching off the GPS. So when you're doing your independent driving, you'll be asked to pull up on the left somewhere and then be told that that's the end of the independent driving and just to continue and follow their directions. Coming up towards Juniper Green, little village, 30 miles an hour, remember guys. And another crossing ahead of us. This kind of takes a lot, takes people back from when they've done their theory test and they're doing the, the hazard perception test. Every time you see something, you click the button, click the mouse. Well, that mouse indicates a mirror check, really. Any time that you think that you would or see something, you might have to, like the van and the crossing, you check your mirror here, check your right mirror to move out. And they sort of coincide with when you're pressing the mouse button. So we'll be coming up here, and again, we're on the final stretch up to the test centre. There's a junction just ahead, and could be asked to take the next on the right. I just can't quite remember where this particular test is heading back, but if somebody's turning right like that, check your mirror, ease off the gas. You might need to stop behind the vehicle. Still keep going ahead. So we're going to go up past the Sainsbury's garage on the left hand side. Sorry about the silence, but I'm running out of words, to be honest with you. It's all about observation and seeing what's in front of us. Check the mirror, car pulling out. You've got the crossing there as well, so check both sides of the crossing. Yep. Now soon we'll be asked to take the next road on the right. Now this junction, it's not really any different from any other ones. It's a slight bend, just you'll see the little island in the centre of the road as you get up there. But you'd probably be checking your mirrors probably about now. It's nice. We always make your routine nice and easy and in an order, one at a time. So you're doing your mirrors, you signalling it right now, and you're just slowing down, looking to see what's coming towards you. Second gear and clutch up, making sure your speed's down, covering the brake and clutch going round, just in case you need to stop in the new road. 20 mile an hour in the new road here, and this is Bryce Road. Of course, the test centre's just at the bottom of the street. So we'll just go down here, check your interior and right mirror for the blue car, and and that white van's coming up. So I would check your mirror, make sure the van doesn't just pull out in front of us, and we would have to react if that's the case. Blue car again on the left in front of you, so you've got your interior and right mirror again, and you're moving over. There's a truck further up there, so the chances are the examiner might ask us to turn right here. So that's just exactly what's happened. That's good. And then we'll be taking a left turn. So interior left mirror and signal, watching well ahead, and we'll be turning right into the car park. There's me doing my exercise against that wall, stretching my leg. This osteoarthritis is not good for you. So we're going into the car park here. Oh, we're not. We're pulling up on the left. Oh, that's good. So that's fine. Keep away from the car. And there we are, guys. Unfortunately, it's 3 serious faults and 3 minor faults. So I hope you got a lot out of that particular video today. We've got to learn from our mistakes. And yeah, we'll look forward to the next one. And hopefully you subscribe to the channel, and any comments you can leave them. If there's anything particular you want me to cover, let me know, and I'll see you again in the next video.